During our presentation, we covered a few popular methods for arrays in JavaScript. I'm going to go into these a little more in-depthly through the code view so you can see them. I think the most popular of the methods is probably going to be the pop and the push. So I'm going to go ahead and create an array that equals 1, 2, 3, just 3 things like this. And then all I'm going to do is do a pop. And after I do that, when I console.log a, let's see what we get. Here's array methods right there. And I'm going to go ahead and console.log this value. Okay, let me get this off. Close this down here. And you see an array of 2 things. That's 0, 1, and 2. We simply removed the top. Okay, so that's pop. Let's take A again, and we'll do a push. In this case, we'll do B with B and a push. And the best thing you can do for this sort of thing is to just add some things. Just start playing with what you have. So if I do this and I console.log B now, guess what I'll get? I will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because I took 1, 2, 3 and I pushed 4 and 5 onto it. Okay, so I can take these same things and paste them below. Now we can do a C, and we can do a shift. Pop.shift, shift. And we'll console.log C there, and then we'll do an unshift. And we'll do a D on this one. So basically, you're looking at differences in what shift does is, you get 1, 2, 3, and you're shifting, you're removing the first element. That's why down here you have 2 and 3. So if you have D, 1, 2, 3, and you unshift 4 and 5, you're simply prepending it. Those are 4 really popular techniques. In the presentation, we use join and toString. Those are good things. If I do, I want to talk about slicing a little bit because we didn't cover that in the presentation. Let's say I have a variable called languages, and I'm going to scroll down this a little bit so this comes to the top of your screen, and we make this equal to an array of several languages, something like PHP, Python, JavaScript. We'll just do ones that our program teaches. Okay, MySQL. Great. So I have an array of 4 elements. Pretty simple. Let's say I wanted to just output PHP. Well, I would take languages and I would use what's called a slice. When you slice, you're taking a starting point and moving several characters down. So now, if I console.log that value, console.log languages, we should see at the bottom 0, 1. So that's languages right now. But if we take this variable and push it inside this section right here, watch the difference. I'm going to console.log just the languages of both. And now I get PHP. So what was wrong there was I didn't port it to any variable and then output that variable. So I could say something like var PHP equals this, and when I console.log PHP, guess what? It's going to be equal to PHP. So what we'd like to get you to do is be able to grab any element of an array that you like. For example, if we did console.log, I'm just going to put some values inside here, and we simply did 1. Well, guess what would happen? I'm going to log it so you can see. It started at 1, and it did Python, JavaScript, and MySQL. It had no finishing point. It just did 1. So if it did 1, 2, guess what would happen? It would go Python, and then guess what? Right there. So it went from 1 to 2. Let's go from 1 to 3. And now you see Python and JavaScript. Why? Because we started at 1 and we went 0, 1, 2, 3 in. So let's do a minus 2. This means we're going to start from the end and work our way back. And now you see if we start and go minus 2, we get JavaScript and MySQL because it went 1, 2, and then back. That's a sort of confusing thing, but you have a starting point and a terminating point. This was obviously starting at 0 and going 1. Well, let's do 0, 2 and see what happens. Excellent, PHP Python. Let's do 0.languages.length, because remember that's a number. And now you get all 4. So that's basically the first and how many you'll go is basically how that works. Last thing I'm going to teach in this section of arrays is something called sorting. What happens with sorting is that you'll do it, if I do console.log the original languages dot sort, and in this case I'm going to just run it like this so you can see it. So this is the sort itself. Now you see it says sort native code. So if I run this like this and do sorted langs equals language sort like this, let's console.log sorted languages. And when we run this, we get JavaScript, MySQL, PHP, Python in alphabetical order. Also, keep in mind you can do this numerically. So if I had some numbers like so, and I did something like 30, 10, 204, and I wanted to sort these, equals, and I'm going to do nums dot sort, and then I'm going to console.log sorted nums. And now when I refresh on this guy, you'll see, look at that. Oh my goodness, it didn't work, did it? It went 10, 30, 300, and 4. Well, guess what? That's not a good thing, is it? So I'm going to play around here a little bit and run this. I have to define the variable num, but there is a way to sort an array that's numeric. But you understand what this is. You've got 10, 30, 300, and 4. That's because it only knows the numbers.